Breast cancer continues to top the list of being the most common cancer among Singaporean women, with a record of 991 deaths in 2018. The latest report from Breast Screen Singapore reveals that most women above 50 years old do not follow up on their repeat breast screen 2 years after their first mammogram.
And to discuss more of this worrying trend and, of course, the importance of regular breast screening, we have Dr. Samuel Au joining us in the studio now. And he's the Vice Chairman of Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2019 and also a consultant with the Department of Hematology Oncology at the National University Cancer Institute in Singapore. Now, Samuel, great to have you with us today. First of all, can you explain to us why it's important to go back for a second mammogram?
Well, I think many people think that breast cancer is a risk at one point in your life, and if you've had one mammogram that's normal, then you are probably no longer at risk of breast cancer. But perhaps most do not know that the risk of breast cancer actually increases as one ages. Therefore, a mammogram only assesses one's risk at one point in time. It's static. But women 50 years and above are actually recommended to do screening mammograms once every 2 years to continuously assess the risk and therefore protect themselves.
So according to the report, less than 20% of women are returning for their second mammogram. What do you put that down to?
Right, so this is a consistent trend that we've been seeing in our local data, and we think it's probably because of the false reassurance one gets from the first normal mammogram. And over the past few years, I think our efforts have mainly been in increasing breast cancer awareness and getting people to realize that mammograms are important. But now, this year, our theme really is to encourage women to do their first screening mammogram and also remember, because I guess most women would probably not realize that it's important to do it continuously.
Also, I guess holding a lot of women back, a lot of misconceptions perhaps. You know, some have heard that it's painful, it's very uncomfortable. So what are some other, fears or misconceptions that people tend to have, and can you kind of correct that for us?
Right, I think misconceptions are one of the reasons why women don't repeat mammograms. I agree that there might be some discomfort based from the pressure, so we actually recommend that women take some steps. For example, arranging the mammogram 7 to 10 days after their period, where the breasts are less tender. And also, many also feel that mammograms increase the risk of cancer because of radiation, but actually scientific evidence shows that the amount of radiation exposed is very little. Lastly, most people feel that mammograms don't help prevent cancer, but really we're trying to detect very early stage breast cancer where a lump is not felt, and that's only effectively seen by mammograms.
So how often then are cases where you know it could have been picked up if it had been treated or scanned or discovered much earlier?
Right, so that's a good question, and really I think based on our Singapore data, 30% of our ladies diagnosed with breast cancer are diagnosed in stage 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
And that's really advanced, where it's big, it has spread to lymph nodes and maybe has spread to other parts of the body. We're really trying to shift this and diagnose it much earlier, where treatment can be curative and less complex.
So speaking to some of my friends as well, I think many of them have not had mammograms or they don't intend to. So, is there anything you can say to younger women who think that actually it's not necessary, I'm still young, I am unlikely to get breast cancer?
So I agree that screening mammograms are not for women of all ages. In fact, our national cancer screening guidelines actually recommend that women above the age of 50 do screening mammograms once every 2 years, and 40 to 49 do mammograms once every year after having a discussion with their doctors. For younger ladies, and actually all women, we suggest really understanding their breast health, doing breast self-examinations, alerting themselves if, let's say, they find any abnormalities, and seeing a doctor who can do investigations.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you so much for sharing all that with us. I think perhaps it would even save some lives tonight if people go to the mammogram. We've been speaking to Dr. Samuel Au, who is Vice Chairman of Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2019 and also a consultant with the Department of Hematology Oncology at the National University Cancer Institute in Singapore.